My apologies about the part 1 video. I had it all processed and rendered out and it sounded perfect, and whenever I got it up on YouTube, it turned into this.
And so that means this is my very first video of 2011.
And when I tried re-recording it, my camera didn't work because the battery died and the memory ran out very fast. So first things first, introduction to how 2011 is going to work with this channel. I will be posting a video every Friday, at least every Friday. That means this little counter up here is going to be plus 52, and it may be up here. I'm not very good at figuring out which is which yet. Every month I will allow the viewers to challenge me with given a certain theme or subject that I will give them in my very first video of that month, and I will complete it on the last Friday of that month. I'm looking for graphics for my intro and for an outro. So, please work with me on that. And now, the story of the ever fascinating Bella Swan. So basically, Ella thinks that James, a vampire that has been kind of wanting to eat her, has her mother captured so that she has to come down away from the protection of her lovely Edward, and she must rescue her mother. Because we all know, when we have a demon vampire that has a hostage situation going on, we need to send a skinny, whiny white girl to go take care of the situation. He was over me at once, his foot stepping down on my leg. I heard the sickening snap before I felt it. But then I did feel it. Unnecessary sentence is unnecessary. So James is pretty much recording him beating Bella to a pulp by like smashing her up against mirrors and kicking her legs in and things like that. And just basically causing her torture. All because Edward wouldn't let him eat her right on the baseball field where he wanted. Because apparently vampires have emotional issues. So basically after all this torture that Bella's been going through, it's making her black out. And that is pretty much the end of chapter 22. In chapter 23, The Angel. Ooh, what kind of fake soap opera drama is happening now? As I drifted, I dreamed. Where I floated under the dark water, I heard the happiest sound my mind could conjure up. Pause. What do you think it's going to be? Will it be A, the sound of her mother being alive? B, her never ever ever going to Forks and getting in this situation? Or C, a horrifying growl from a demon, also known as a vampire, about to rip another one of its own kind to shreds and burn the body? If you guess C, you're Stephanie Meyer, or you're crazy. So basically, this is all her kind of being in a concussion slash daze, and it feeling like there's just heavy black water going over her and she can't do anything about it. And Edward, the vampire, and that's the only reason I use the term demon here, is to show what she's going for. Edward, the demon slash vampire, is being referred to as an angel. So she's trying to get the, I guess, the irony of it. I don't know. She's making her own irony, and it's kind of weird. Alright, I'm gonna read you this little paragraph of what should have been in the movie, but wasn't. Behind that long forced sound, that is Edward's voice, was another noise. An awful tumult. Tumult? T-U-M-U-L-T? I don't know. An awful tumult that my mind shied away from. A vicious bass growling, a shocking snapping sound, and a high kneeing suddenly breaking off. And then there's an ellipsis. What's going on is Edward's family has James pinned to the ground and is ripping him apart bit by bit with their teeth, literally tearing him to shreds while he is fully conscious of every bite that is happening to him. And then they've started a fire and they're throwing all the bits that they are ripping off his body and burning them in front of him, because that is the only way you can actually kill a vampire, is to rip it to shreds and then burn the remains in Stephanie Meyer's world. That would have been such a good action scene to have in the movie. But, of course, all that was there was Bella fading in and out and some flailing in the background. I'm pretty sure I saw a clown in there at one point. And so, C. Izzle, as I refer to Carlisle. I never knew how to pronounce her name because I've never seen such a strange spelling. Because I've never actually seen the name Carlisle spelled out, and I'm still fairly sure she used a very strange spelling of it. But I always called him C. Izzle. So, C. Izzle is telling Edward, you have to do this. You have to suck the venom out of the clean wound, while I stop the bleeding and everything like this, because I'm the medical professional. You're also the vampire that turned Edward into a vampire about 117 years ago. So tell me this. If you're the medical professional, And if you are the professional on safely turning humans into vampires, why aren't you doing this yourself? Help Edward get his revenge. Tell Edward, go, rip James to shreds, have fun, enjoy the horrible, horrible torture you are enduring on one of your own kind, while I save this fangirl that seems to be attracted to your horrible emotional struggle. It doesn't make any sense. That's just a big plot hole, but this book tends to have a lot of them. And so, Edward is basically afraid that he's going to suck Bella dry of all her blood, because it is his, like, fascination. She smells better than anyone, and that's the only reason that he ever was attracted to her, was the way her blood smelled. And so, C. Izzle and Alice are trying to convince Edward that you have to do this, and you can do this, and We'll attend to the wounds and everything like that. We'll make sure she stops bleeding, and so you can get the venom out of her arm, where it could have been as simple as C. Izzle tying a tourniquet around her arm and then getting the venom out and then stopping all the other bleeding. But no. Her blood tastes clean, and so Edward actually finally does it. Her blood tastes clean, Edward said quietly. I can taste the morphine. I'm just assuming that Bella's either a junkie or C. Izzle had some in his bag. Bella, C. Izzle called to me. I tried to answer. No. Is the fire gone? Yes. Thank you, Edward. I love you, he answered. Oh no. That's not what you say when someone says, I love you. She's ripping off Star Wars here, I believe, only it's a much sadder situation. Especially not after they just saved your life and risked their own to do it, so it won't get you any brownie points in a relationship. I heard my favorite sound in the world, Edward's quiet laugh weak with relief. It's not a situation you can laugh at yet. It's one of those where you can kind of look back and go, oh, you remember that day when you were stupid and got yourself trapped by a vampire thinking you could kill him because you thought he had your mother without actually checking to see if your mother was at work or anything like that, like she actually was. Remember how I risked my life, and I told you I loved you, and you just went, I know. Good times we have back in the day. And so that is pretty much it. The story is, this chapter ends with Bella wanting to sleep after all of that morphine and pain, and so she gets on Edward's back, and he carries her safely with his family. And that's the end of the chapter. And that's Tomo Reads Twilight. And so, thank you, Sarendeer. Again, the name up there. I know I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. So, again, I'm going to be posting videos every Friday. Please tell me what you think in the comments down below. Please like and favorite this video. We have hit the 100 subscriber mark. Woot. And so, with that, I'm going to leave you with, but this has been 250 Les Paul, signing out. Happy New Year.